Howdy everybody, Steve here, KM9G, and I'm sitting in my truck today with my VGC VR-N7600, and I'm thinking to myself, we've got a radio without a face, why don't we have a microphone without a cord, like this? That's pretty cool. Let's get over to the workbench and take a look at getting this thing all connected and programmed up and working with a bunch of different radios. Vero had a bunch of different microphones in the past, and I have a couple of them here. There was one that was this size and shape, but no screen. I did a video on that. I'll leave it linked in the description down below for you. There was also this one here, which kind of looks like it's an HT, but it is super light and is the predecessor to this thing here. This is no longer available. If you're lucky, you can find one on eBay, and I was lucky enough that one of the viewers sent me this. So thank you very much, and we're going to play around with this a little bit in a future video. But right now, this video is about replacing this thing with this, or connecting it to this, or even getting really crazy and connecting it to this bad boy here. And if Icom did their job right, then if you can connect it to the 705, you should also be able to connect it to the ID50 series radios that have Bluetooth handheld microphone options kind of thing. But that's really on Icom. In the box for the microphone, you get the microphone itself, you get a belt clip type deal, and this thing is removable if you wanted to save some weight, or maybe somebody in the future might come up with some way to adapt it to something like this, or to a magnetic mount, or whatever the case may be, because, you know, we're hams and we like to invent things and go crazy. You also get the owner's manual and one of these USB A to C charging cables to charge this thing with. So this has a Type-C charger in it. So my VR-N7600 radio is powered on and ready to go. Let's get it connected up to the cell phone app, which is cleverly called HT. Device firmware needs to be updated. Ooh, bonus firmware update time! Do you start updating now? Sure, why not? Look at all those stations on APRS. This one does add the PTT release option in the radio settings, supporting configuration of the data type and format for transmitting signaling upon PTT release. Okay, that's pretty cool. So you can send an ID out when you let go of your PTT. Supports custom location, improve equipment stability, fix an issue where voice relay transmission could be silent. Okay, let's download that. The firmware update process is relatively straightforward on these radios, as you're seeing. We've done the download now. Let's start. And it's doing a data transfer over to the radio. You won't see anything there. It's going to take about 4 minutes, and we'll be back. 5 seconds to go. Get so excited about firmware updates. The device transfer is complete. Do you want to continue the upgrade process? The device will reboot before to process. The device will be reboot before to process. I said that wrong first, and then they wrote it wrong, so we're both at blame. Just saying. Updating firmware. Please do not turn off the power. So this is the update on the N7600, the radio. The microphone itself is still turned off and has been upside down. My smartwatch just told me that I was being sedentary and I have activity goals set. We need to do some ham radio apps for smartwatches. I've got a couple of ideas, but I ain't got no time, so if you've got time and no ideas, let's talk. Well, the fan just kicked on the radio. It's not warm, it's probably just part of the update process. The update is complete. You think it's complete. It is not complete. What are those green lines? Interesting. Oh, that's like that's the zero crossing of the equator and the latitude, longitude, and probably somebody had their radio misconfigured. And there's nobody near me. I'm right around this area here. And we're done. The radio has fully rebooted itself and it is back to normal. Okay, let's turn this guy here on. No connection. Okay. Let's pair it through the phone because that's a thing. You can pair the microphone through the phone to the radio. I don't recommend this, but you can do it. You probably need to connect it up to the phone in order to do microphone configuration setting type stuff, but having to have a microphone, a phone, and a radio is 3 devices in the chain that just makes things really weird. Pair new device. And we're going to pair a PTT hand microphone. And we have found the BHM88, and we're going to bind it. And now we're connected. And it says VR N7600, because it knows. Oh, there's my compass. Ah, the compass is in the microphone, it appears, because I'm moving the microphone and not the radio. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I have the phone connected to this KM9G testing. KM9G testing. Okay, so pushing the PTT on the phone isn't doing anything with the radio. And I can tell because if I do KM9G testing, you can see the up arrows here where I'm testing the microphone and it's telling me that it is actually in transmit mode. So these guys look almost 100% identical. It's just the bottom molding is different to accommodate the battery, and my radio just fell off the desk. Good thing this thing's built like a tank. Oh, when I key the microphone, the haptic feedback on the Android happens. That's pretty cool. I don't really want to key the APRS channel, but I did, just for you guys, just for science. Oh, there we go, BHM88 settings. Programmable buttons, which are the ears, is what I call them. You've got one on each side, and then you can turn on Icom mode. We'll play with that later on after we figure out this one here. So let's turn Bluetooth off on the phone and get that out of here, and yeah, that's what I thought. It was going through the phone to the radio. That's crazy. We're going to press the 1 button. We're going to go down to General Settings. We're going to choose Connection. I don't think we need to have pairing enabled. You can see it's already got devices there. So I'm going to put this on. And she's booted up. No connection, so I'm going to double tap. Which then you can see this guy blinking and it's in paired mode. Now you see it show up over here. So I'm going to hit Select. I hit the wrong button. Don't hit the wrong button. There's too many buttons. Okay, so there's the M88 to connect to. I'm going to hit Select, and it's trying to connect. And I think the radio just rebooted. Okay, this is in pairing mode. General settings, connection. Ah, it paired. Okay, I just was impatient. So now we've got it all paired up to the radio, and you can see on here that it's got a headset connector icon on the screen. Signal, speaker, high power, this is muted, and then headset, which is this. And now on the headset here, we're mirroring the screen, and you can see that this screen is a little bit bigger and brighter than this screen is, but they're still completely readable. It's depending on your camera angle, as you can see right there. Okay, so I want to change channels. Changes channels. I want to make a call. KM9G testing on 146.52. Kilo Mike 9 Golf on 146.52. Test 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, well that worked. FM radio coming out of here. Turn off. Aha. Okay, so I can do all the full programming here that I did, that I can do over here. And you can see that this one's not changing while I'm messing with stuff in here. So I am going to get back out of here. I'm going to program in a repeater real quick because I'm in a new area. We'll see if we can connect. Save it. Select it. All right, so now we are back from our programming, and I've got K6 PPT programmed in, which is a local 70 centimeter repeater, and it was last updated on October 2nd, 2025. So there's a pretty high chance we'll be able to connect to it. And we're connected. This is KM9G on the K6 PPT repeater. Anybody out there? Because if you just say monitoring, then you're not asking for a conversation. KM9G looking for a radio check. Anybody around? It's also fairly early in this retirement area. 8:53 a.m., 9 a.m. almost. But we were able to program in the radio from the front panel of the wireless mic. We were able to make a contact from the front panel of the wireless mic. Everything looks like it's aces. So now what I need to do is disconnect, general settings, because I want to play with a different radio. Connection, paired devices, select it, and then unpair. And it is now unpaired. That is radio number 1 done. Let's do our radio number 2, Big Red. Same thing, general settings and connection. And we don't need to pair anything. We don't need to put it into pairing mode. That's to pair this with something. So let's go into the microphone. And in order to do this, it's telling me that it's still paired over there, but it is not still paired over there. So let's put it into pairing mode by double-clicking the power button, and then you can see it start lighting up a little bit differently. Available devices, BHM88, select, pair, connecting, connected. Perfect. And now you see the channels have changed. And we have the headphone icon up here. So I'm going to return, 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 return. Okay, and now we have matching displays. The displays are pretty comparable, depending on the angle of the light that you get. And we are receiving a signal on the B band. Okay, that's interesting. I'm getting sound out of both of these guys. Anyway, in order to change from A band to B band, you push the up and down arrows. This is really difficult on this radio sometimes. And I want to change the squelch to make that a lot higher, which is going to be under radio settings, I believe. Squelch level 5. Good. That's going to shut up that second channel. I kind of don't want the second channel, but I also don't want to turn off dual watch because I'm stubborn like that. Sound settings. Speaker off. Okay, so I turn the speaker off here, and now we have a speaker there. Okay, now we're on 146.5.2 over here. KM9G testing. Oh, it's got a split. Offset is auto. Let's turn that off. Subtone, let's turn that off while we're here. Not that it matters in this context. And I'm just doing it on the radio's front because I'm very familiar with doing it on the radio's front. So let's do KM9G testing, KM9G testing, and you can hear it pop up. Well, I guess you can see it pop up. Let's be a little pedantic here. All right, excellent. Now let's try and see how it sounds.
Channel mode.
Channel mode. KM9G. Yep. All right, awesome. So she works. KM9G testing. It's hard to talk while you're hearing yourself in the same room. But she's nice and loud, and I like that. All right, so now it's Icom time. And this microphone sitting here isn't even an Icom mic. This is a Yaesu mic from a completely different radio. This is the Icom mic. Let's turn on the 705. We go into menu, we go into set. We scroll all the way down. I'm on page 3 out of 4. I want to choose Bluetooth set. And then in here, I want to go to pairing connect, to connect to another device instead of having pairing reception, which is this one trying to connect from another device. I'm going to try and connect to the microphone. So pairing connect, and this is me testing out an amp for Zygu that is not yet released to the public, but is looking pretty promising. Let's see, device search, and then search headset, and we're searching. So now I need to put this into pairing mode. There we go. It's hard to do that left-handed because I ain't left-handed. There we go. We have found it. So we can stop searching. Pick the BHM88. Yes, I'd like to connect. We're connecting. We're connecting. We're connecting. Okay. I'm on an HF mode, so you can hear sounds coming out. Because I'm also testing Network 105 on another radio as well. So let's go over to, let's see, 144, 146.5.2, that looks good. What do we see on the display? The display says no connection. That is not necessarily true. Ah, this is not an Icom mode. You remembered that, I forgot that. Let's go put this in Icom mode. Okay, so we're back in the HT mode. And what do we see? Let's do connection mode. So we've disconnected on the 705. I don't know if you guys caught that with the glare there. Pair a new device, PTT hand microphone. What do we find? We find the BHM88. We're connecting. We're connected. So we're good to stop the scan. We can go back. And so you notice that it doesn't show up in the list here. So tap off of the list and then pick the 3 dots up there, BHM88 settings. And I want to put it into Icom mode. Okay. Is there a firmware update? No updates are available. Let's try the secret backdoor trick of tapping 10 times. Checking for updates. No super secret hidden updates available either. Okay, so we're in Icom mode. We should be good to go there. So now let's come back here and get the radio back. And the radio has forgotten that it had anything paired. So let's go back into pairing mode. So menu, set, Bluetooth, pairing connect. Connect to this thing. Yes, I'd like to connect to it. Is it going to do it automatically? Or do I need to be... We are connected. Aha! I'm pushing the button. It's making the noise. It goes into TX mode. KM9G testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. KM9G testing. And why have a fancy radio like this if you don't have the scope turned on? This is KM9G testing, and my span is too big. KM9G testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Kilo Mike 9 Golf testing. KM9G testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. KM9G. That sounds really bad. All right, so one more trick would be to turn this off. Turn it on again. And it should pair. And it tried to connect to the phone. Let's see if we're connected over here. Bluetooth set. Oh, it automatically reconnected. I just wasn't patient enough. Let's do menu set. Ah, see, it's better now. Very quiet beeps, but they're proper beeps. So now we do testing. KM9G testing. We've got good modulation. Now we do set, and we do Bluetooth set, and we do headset set, and we put that back to normal. I'm getting that buzzing again. KM9G testing. Yep. So it's got to be in PTT mode for some reason. Bluetooth set, headset set, PTT mode. KM9G testing. Okay, now do we have sound?
Frequency mode.
Frequency mode. I love that. KM9G testing. KM9G testing. Nope, I sound like a frog. All right, so let's turn this back on. There we go. And we're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. Again, I'm blaming this on the Icom here. We do something completely different because I see that notch is on and I want the notch off. Okay. And then I go in, I get impatient, I hit set, I go into Bluetooth set, pairing connect. So it needs to be connected. No, it says it is connected. I just didn't get a message on the screen that said it was connected. And PTT works. This is KM9G. But I'm still getting weird sounds. Yeah, so now I'm getting sounds out of here. Before it was beeping out of the radio, and it was happy there for about a half a second. Okay, so is the problem that it's connected to the phone and that it's connected to the 705? So let's disconnect the phone. Bluetooth off. KM9G testing. Yeah, weird sound still. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn it back on. And we say no connection. Menu set. Patience. Patience. Usually I have a lot of patience, but I'm trying to get this video done for you guys. It says connect, which would lead me to believe that I push the button to do the connect. And it says disconnect. Yes, I'd like to disconnect. And now it says nothing, which would lead me to believe that I should do something in order to connect it. Connect. Yes. Connecting. Connected. Headset function. PTT. Okay, so the beeps are sounding right. PTT. This is KM9G testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. That sounds right. Does it sound right on the radio? KM9G testing 1 2 3. Nope. I'm just getting feedback. I'm not like you should get feedback and something else. So I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to go check it. I'll be right back. KM9G testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay. So what did you guys hear that time? Because KM9G, I see modulation. I see modulation. Oh, I hear modulation now too. This is actually working just fine now. Okay. So my take on this for Icom 705 is that there are problems with the 705 and there are maybe some problems here. I can't tell because the problem that I got with this microphone is getting the phone disconnected and out of the way seems to be the magic trick. And I agree. I don't want to have the phone connected to the microphone at all in this chain. And I mentioned that earlier in the video when it was connected from the microphone through the phone into the radio. It's neat that it can do that. And I know why it did that because it was acting as a Bluetooth headset for the phone, which was doing Bluetooth headset things on the phone, which was then controlling the radio. So overall, I'm fairly happy with it. And I don't think that there's going to be a use case where you're doing what I'm doing, which is moving back and forth from one radio to another radio fairly rapidly in the course of a single video to share it with you guys. So in the use case of I have the VRN7500, the VRN7600 in my car and I want to have a detachable face, quote unquote. This radio it's a faceless radio, headless radio. It doesn't need it, but it is nice to be able to have some at your fingertips information, and technology has advanced and prices have come down, and here we are with one of these guys. So I think overall this is a pretty cool thing, and if you are switching back and forth between radios, you will experience the same pain that I experienced, which really isn't that much of a pain, it's just a thing. The Icom stuff, I think, is something to do with Icom, something to do with Bluetooth, something to do with Vero, but it's a Vero product made for Vero radios, and you get a bonus that it works with the Icom products. And it does work pretty well, but obviously it's got a bunch of extra functionality in it. And, well, it's got a bunch of extra functionality in it that is for Vero radios only. And it is way lower cost than Icom 705 Bluetooth speaker mic thing that Icom makes. That's a little crazy expensive, but if you want one of those, I'll leave a link in the description down there for you for that as well, next to the links for this. I do have a 10% off discount code, $10 off? $10 off discount code for the Vero radios. I don't know if it works with the microphone or not. Check it out. Let me know if it does. Leave a comment down below to help out some other people if it does help out with the microphone. But it'll get you $10 off of any of the Vero radio products that are out there. This is still my favorite radio out of all of the radios that are out there. And I don't normally bestow a lot of praise. Like, I have fun with radios, but I don't normally say, like, this is my favorite. And sometimes when I say this is my favorite, like the Zygo 6100, it's because it's fun to hack on, not because it's a great radio. Like, there's more to radio than just making communications, which is what makes this a hobby. If this was, I mean, if this wasn't fun, it would just be called telephone, right? So check out the links down below. Hit the subscribe button on your way by. YouTube likes to see the subscribe number go up. It sends ham radio out to more people. It sends me out to more people. It makes me happy when more people see it, and I get to see more people in the comments section and all that other jazz. And if you don't like Bluetooth wireless speaker mics on radios, then maybe you'll like this video right over here. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.